Okay, we are live from Atlanta, Georgia.
Live from Las Vegas.
Live from New York.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
We're live.
We're live. So this is the Keto Show, and our name has changed. It's not the Keto Show with Tom and Mike anymore. It's the Keto Show with Tom, Mike, and Lee.
Yep. Lee's joining
Lee
the gang.
Lee is going to be a permanent fixture.
Hi, everybody.
And our guest today is Matt Troise, and he has.
I am blessed that you guys have invited me in.
Quite love it. And Matt has 3 channels, and I only knew of 2 up until today, and I got to check out the other one. And that's he's got Matt Troise, Keto and Wrestling, Keto World Order, and what's the name of the third one, Matt?
What was that? MJ Wrestling Shoots.
Okay. All righty. So
what we try to do here, Matt, is we try to open up to people that we know, people that are involved in the keto end of it, because after all, that's what we do. We are the keto folk.
Yeah.
But everybody has a journey. Everybody has their certain reason why they started doing keto. So what we like to do here is let you tell your story. We'll get your name out there. Hopefully get some more subscribers, and just I want people to understand where Matt is with his journey. So Matt, you got the floor.
Oh, absolutely. So I want to thank you guys for having me on too. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, So what happened with me was I was going through some health issues several years ago. I'd say almost 6 years ago now, and I started to gain more weight out of nowhere. Like I was eating regularly, what I thought was regular, like chicken and broccoli, salmon and broccoli, and then I put rice with it and make it a balanced meal. I thought I was eating correctly, and then all of a sudden, I just started to put on weight out of nowhere. Like I started to retain water, and I'm not sure why either, because I was eating the way they were supposed to eat, right? Like how they want you to eat, right? So I was like, I don't know what's going on here, but so I started gaining weight, and I was about 235 at that time. So yeah, I was gaining some weight, and I'm not that tall either. I'm only about 5'7". So I was a bit chunky for that height. So what happened was I was at work, and I worked at Grand Central at the time, and I was in the basement where I was making a list of things I had to order for my location, and I just passed out. I just fell to the ground, and I don't know what happened. Like I just started seeing black spots everywhere, and then I just dropped. And I was underground, so I was really worried because I didn't think anyone was going to find me. So I was crawling my way to get to the top floor, to get to the mezzanine. So I was actually crawling on my hands and knees, and I was able to get to the outside. And it's New York City, like people don't really stop and say, why is this guy crawling on the yeah, right, yeah, like this guy's drunk or whatever, and I'm just crawling out to the street level. I hail a cab, and I'm still on one knee. I mean, I'm hailing a cab. He stops, and I just get in the cab, and I know I got to go to a hospital. And it's funny, I spoke to my doctor like a few days ago, and I asked what's going on, and he said, it sounds like you have high blood pressure, like the symptoms you had. Like I was feeling dizzy, I was feeling lethargic, I was feeling like I was just feeling sick all over. And he said it sounded like you have high blood pressure, and he recommended a hospital, and I couldn't remember the name of the hospital because I was so discombobulated. So the cab driver was very nice. He gave me the time of day just to get my wits about me, And I called my doctor, and I said, Hominides, right? Is that the hospital? He said, Maimonides, that's the name. And that was the name. And then we went there, and then I got evaluated. And yeah, my blood pressure was like, I think 160 over 100. It was, it was pretty rough. And yeah, and the doctor looked at me and said, "Well, you're a young guy. What's going on? Like, you're a little bit too young to be experiencing these symptoms." And I said, "Well, I don't know what's going on really. And all I know is I just haven't been feeling well for the last few weeks." And yeah, so he prescribed a medication for me, high blood pressure meds, and naturally I took them. I was listening to the doctor's orders, so I started to feel better initially, but I still wasn't like great. Like I just felt good enough to go to work, come home, maybe cook, and then go to sleep. Like I had no energy whatsoever. I just felt good enough to get up and go to work and then come back home. So then I started to I thought there was something else wrong, so they did a whole round of tests on me. My blood sugar, my blood sugar was high too. My fasting blood sugar, I think, was like 125 at that time, so it was like pre-diabetic. So they wanted to put me on another medication for that, and then they checked my thyroid. They said I had a case of hypothyroidism, and then
Can I continue your pill regimen?
yeah.
We've all been through that. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
and they don't go any further.
Mm-hmm.
That's my whole thing. So they put you on them pills, see you in 90 days, and walk away. It's up to you to keep them. I'm sorry to interrupt, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's true. Then at that time I was on three pills, and it was I still didn't feel good. So then they did another round of tests. They said, "Oh, wait, you have low testosterone. You have high estrogen. You have as much estrogen as a pregnant person." I was like, "What's going on here? Like, what's going on?" And they said, "We got to get you on hormone replacement therapy." I said, "Oh, wait a second." I said, "Wait a second now. Wait a second. There has to be something wrong here." Like, and then I said to my main doctor, my general practitioner, I said, "Is there something I'm eating? Is there something that I'm eating that's wrong?" And he looked at me. He patted me on the leg. He said, "Listen, all you got to do is take these pills, and you're going to live a long and healthy life, and you don't have to worry about what you're eating because you're on the pills." Yeah. That's when a light bulb went off in my head. When you if you saw like a light bulb, like literally, it just went off in my head, clicked, and I said, "There's something to this." So I started doing research, and I was saying natural ways to reverse high blood pressure. And a doctor that kept coming up was Dr. Berg. Yeah. So I started watching his videos, and I started seeing, oh, well, wait a second. There could be a correlation between these high carb foods I'm eating and to the raise of blood sugar, to the raise of my high blood pressure. There could be a correlation. And then I started binge watching his material, and then I said, wait a second, let me try this. Let's see what's going on here. And I because of how the media paints keto, like I never thought I would go full keto. Like I said to myself, maybe I'll do low carb, see how that goes. And that's what I did. I started low carb. I started reducing my carbs. So instead of having a bagel and a donut for breakfast, I would have just a croissant, and then I wouldn't have any more bread for the rest of the day. And then I would just have my meal like a chicken and broccoli without the rice. And so my carbs would probably be around 50 to 75 grams a day. And then I started to feel better, started to feel improvements. And at that time I was going to see my doctors too. And they started to see an improvement too in my blood work, and they said, "Oh, whatever you're doing, that's great. Keep doing it." And then I said, "You know what? Let me try keto. Let me go full keto, see what happens." And lo and behold, like within a matter of weeks, like a month and a half, like my blood pressure was perfect, like perfect. Like it was like 115/75 when it was perfect. It was perfect. So I didn't have to take the meds anymore. In fact, when I would take the meds, I would feel sick. So I actually took the pills. I threw them in the trash. And
Matt, let me ask you a question here. Okay, now so you work out, all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever taken your blood pressure as you were working out?
It does elevate. Yeah, it does elevate. Yeah.
So you take somebody who is, say, a couch potato, okay, probably sitting on a couch watching movies, okay, and you take their blood pressure and it's semi-normal, okay. So when you go to the doctor's office, they walk you to Times Square and back, to take your blood pressure, okay. Yeah. Ooh, it's elevated. Okay, so that's the ploy right there that they have. You know what I mean? I told the girl last time I went, she said, we walked up, got on the scale. I told her, you first. And she just looked at me, started laughing. And when we got back in there, she took my blood pressure. I said, now let me take yours. And she looked at me, for what? That's because we just both walked the same distance. Okay, let's check yours, see if yours is high. That's because the next thing it is, he's going to want to put me on high blood pressure medication, which is the wrong thing to do with this, because your blood pressure is not a fixed number.
No, it's a fluctuating one. Yeah,
it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. So,
what I'm finding is mine will jump up when I stand up. So if I stand up, not super fast, but I just jump. But if I just get up fast, I'm getting all out of sorts because my blood pressure spikes, is what my wife says.
Yep.
She's like, I want to do all these tests on you, and I was like, I don't want to find things wrong, honey. Leave me alone.
That's opposite what will happen with a lot of people. They'll have what's called syncope, where they'll stand up and the blood pressure, you have an instant drop when you stand up, and they'll pass out and everything like that.
They had me on a couple different. I was on that same track that you were heading, Matt. Same track. Okay. They had me on 2 or 3 different blood thinners and blood pressure pills. Okay. I actually passed out in my yard to where my wife didn't know what was going on. She thought I dropped dead. Okay. They take me to the hospital. Okay. Kept me overnight. And actually the nurse had to stand me up at night to take my blood pressure because it was 50. She said, you should have been flatlined.
Wow.
With the medication that they had me on for that. So I didn't want to interrupt your moving forward with your story, but I think it's very important for people to hear, coming from you and from the rest of us here, what the time frame that they put us on as far as medications and stuff. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
But let me just put this out first. All right, what we talk about on here, we're not dispensing medical advice. None of us are. No. We are strictly talking about our stories, what worked, what didn't work, and how we got to where we are today. And it just shows you what's up with us, and it hopefully will have you think. We're not telling you don't go to the doctor. We're not saying don't listen to the doctor. We're
research.
Saying think and research. Don't just take everything at face value, because there's it may not be correct. And just know what you're getting into.
Yeah. You got to find what works for you too. You just never know. I mean, some people have allergies to certain foods, and other people could thrive on them. So it's just, that's the way it goes. I mean, you have to fine tune it, and sometimes it goes by. You have to go by trial and error. Sometimes, if you try, you eat something, and you don't feel well, maybe you shouldn't eat it again, So, I mean, and that was with my journey. I really binge watched Dr. Berg's material, and he was really showing exactly what to eat, like different foods to try and eat. And I really just followed what he was eating. And he was eating like 4 eggs with bacon and cheese, and that was his breakfast. Like he would practice intermittent fasting as well. So I got into that as well. Like I started doing some intermittent fasting, and I would build up my tolerance as time went on, so I could move my meals up to a point where I wouldn't have 3 meals a day. I would have 2 meals, and I would try to have a giant salad, and I would have chicken or beef or salmon, and just mix up a big salad for dinner with olive oil as dressing. And then if I was craving some sort of sweetness, I would have like at that time I was doing the what were those, the keto desserts, like the mug cakes and fat bombs and all that. At that time, yep. Yes, yeah, I was all into that. Like I was really into those things, and I was doing well on them for a while, and then they started to wreak havoc on my gut, like the sugar alcohols and whatnot. Yeah. So I had to cut them out eventually. Yep. But
or as I call it, the bubble guts.
Yeah, bubble guts. That's right. Yeah.
Which I brought this up before. Anytime that I remember my mom being on a diet, or we were trying a different eating lifestyle or diet, if you can't find sweets, this thing ain't going to work. So you try keto, the first thing you do is, I got to make muffins. I got to make a cake. I got to make brownies. I got to make pancakes. How often do you eat that on the norm?
Right.
You may have a piece of cake 3 times a year, but if I'm going to succeed on this diet, I got to have cake. You got to try. Yeah. Then you got to go and you got to say, well, I got to try it with allulose. I got to try it with sucralose. I got to try it with monk fruit. I got to try it with stevia. And then you end up saying, your body says,
I need more toilet paper.
No more. No more.
You know what?
It's through the screen door. There's no more.
The thing is,
and then you say this isn't going to work because I can't eat a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, they're like, this diet's not going to work.
The one thing that people fail out, and they got to understand from the beginning, okay, you have to kill the cravings. When you go to quit smoking, you got to kill the craving of smoking. If you're an alcoholic, you got to kill the craving of the alcohol. So the main culprit in this whole mess that we're in is sugar.
Well, instead of looking at it as killing the craving, it's more remembering your why.
Yeah.
Why are you wanting to go keto? Why are you wanting to quit drinking? Why are you wanting to quit smoking? Remembering the why, and not telling yourself, I can't have that. I can't have that. Because you're human, and in your mind, you're like, I'm going to go eat it.
Exactly.
And, you know, you're going to say, I told myself I can't have this cupcake. Guess what? Every time you pass the hostess cupcake, what's it doing? Hey, buddy, how are you? You know?
You've missed me, haven't you?
Yeah.
So when you my why, now I don't want to go back to the doctor and take more horse pills.
Right. It's true.
So if your why is, I don't want to take any more pills because my sugar and I feel bad, then that's different than saying I can't.
People don't realize when they are full.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're eating them carbs, them empty carbs and stuff, you're constantly shoving that stuff in your face. Matt knows. Okay, I always point the wrong freaking way. I don't understand. I got my turn signal on. I'm going the other way. Matt knows is that when I'm talking about killing the craving and stuff, when you eat and you fill yourself up, sometimes Marie says to me, "Are we going to have dinner tonight?" Well, I'm not hungry. You know, and I'm beyond the 20-hour point, not realizing it. You know what I mean? As far as, I don't intermittent fast. Say, well, I'm not going to eat today. That's baloney. You got to just feel yourself out. I mean, if it comes to the point where you want to, where's my gun? I'm going to get a Little Debbie's. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Oh, that evil temptress.
Yeah, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. You're not doing something right. So you got to get beyond that. You got to, like you said, why? Why am I doing this? You know what I mean? So
Yep.
Yeah.
Once you keep your why in the forefront and stop saying I can't, you change it so it's not a negative thing. So your eating style is negative. It's a positive because you're looking at it saying I'm feeling better. I want to continue this instead of saying, well, I'm keto, I can't eat that.
yeah.
What?
So Matt, moving forward, I mean, once you start dropping a little bit of weight and starting feeling pretty good on keto, okay, things started getting easier, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I dropped over 30 pounds, and I felt amazing. Like there would be times where I couldn't sleep at night because I had so much energy. And yeah, really. Like I felt so good. I was like a teen again. Like I felt amazing. And the doctors, I stopped seeing the doctors because I just felt incredible. And I was so like doctored out. Like every week they were sending me for tests and all kinds of stuff. Like, good thing I had good health insurance at that time. They were covering all the bills, but it was, that's another thing too. Is like it's like a whole business. Like I feel like they were just trying to, raise the bill, and it's just a shame. It really is, because there's so many people in the world that are misinformed, and they're going through so much, and maybe a few tweaks of their diet, maybe they would have some improvement, and they're just so informed. Like they'll take every little thing the doctor says to heart, and they won't seek alternative like research or alternative methods to see if maybe, just maybe, you could feel better. It's really a shame.
Yeah. Here's my issue with it. I'm going on 3 years. I'm on 3 years. Okay. The thing that bothers me the most is people who are, like you said, ill-informed, but the people who capitalize on this keto stuff, okay? These keto products, all right? They are garbage. They are flat out garbage, okay? I get a lot of flack from people. Oh, yeah, well, try it. And I said, no, it doesn't work for me. And like Mike said before, we're not doctors or anything. But why isn't anybody going after these people who are putting out false stuff about this, the brand keto? Let's put it that way. Well, fat bombs. I mean, I had a friend of mine in Florida said to me, 3 days was on keto. And she said, "Whoa, this is great. These fat bombs are no, not now, not now."
Slim Fast is actually being sued.
Yo, yeah, and you know what?
I think the suit's still active, and that's because the suit says they claimed something that wasn't true, and so
that's why I got away from Ken Berry. Okay, because
Dr. Berry.
Yeah, once he started selling products, he's not for me.
Not
Berry. I'm talking about Berg.
Oh, Dr. Berg. Okay, Dr. Berg. Yeah.
Well,
Berg.
that when you started, I did the same. What you talked about, you're starting keto and all. It was like a blueprint of what I did.
Yeah,
it's so. I thought I was listening to my story about it going on and watching, because his early videos, man, they were good.
Yeah.
They were really good, Dr. Berg's early videos.
Yeah,
I don't care for any of his stuff now, but that's just me. I'm not saying don't go do it. Don't, if you folks, don't make your own decision.
Yeah, I like Ken Berry, and I also like Dr. Westman at a rally. And he in the beginning, he's saying, a little bit of pressure between the two, but they sort of joined forces now. Also, the diet doctors, Brett Scher, his name is. He's a cardiologist. Okay. Check him out. I mean, because there again, like Mike said, we're not doctors or anything like that. But everything this guy talked about was what was going on with me, and I'm sure with you also, with the medications and stuff.
And there was another one I watched, and that was Thomas DeLauer.
Yeah.
It was good too. Yeah.
And,
he lost me sometimes. He started talking.
I got to where I didn't want to watch him anymore, because if I bought everything he wanted me to buy, I wouldn't be able to afford to live in this house I'm in.
And that goes to the other thing is being on keto now. you're buying alternative sweeteners, you're buying alternative nut flours, so your cost goes up, even though you're supposedly eating less, but you're not really eating less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I just made a pan of keto muffins, and I spent $38 on the flour and the sugars to put into this thing, and am I going to have one? No, they're keto. I'm eating 3.
You can have all of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
but all right, now Matt, I'm gonna give some folks a little bit of interesting stuff here. Matt recently became a college graduate.
Oh yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations to you on that. And also, you are a certified keto coach.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
Now tell us about that. How did you
Yeah.
get to be doing that? And what does it take to get that?
Put me in, coach.
Well, I did it through Dr. Berg's mentorship program. So I did it through Dr. Berg, and that's when I started following Dr. Berg too. Was when he had maybe a million followers, and now he's got like over 10 million, I believe, on YouTube. But yeah, I got into his program. I think it was like $700 at that time or whatever. So I decided to invest in it, and yeah, I just went through the course, and that was it. I think he still offers it too.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I may have to look into that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's basically all the information that he lays out in his he laid out in his videos a few years ago. Like you said, Mike, his videos were very informative back then. Like just about all that material is just laid out in chapters, and you just go through the course. And yeah, I mean, at the end of it, yeah, you get a certificate and become a certified keto coach. But I don't think I've learned anything new from the course, because I was just binge watching all of his videos, and it was just everything that was just from his videos, basically. Yeah, but yeah, like I learned all the basics and how to stay on track, and I learned all the different types of keto, and because there's the therapeutic keto, there's clean keto, there's dirty keto, lazy keto, cyclical keto. There's so many types of keto too. So yeah, and I've tried them all too. So I've tried them all, and yeah, so there's one for everybody. So if you're trying to build muscle, cyclical keto is great because you could cycle some carbs on the weekends, or cycle some carbs on a designated day surrounding your workout. So you could do targeted keto as well. So that's you could do it before workouts, but that's more of an advanced form of keto. And from my experience, clean keto is the best way to go for just about the vast majority of the population, because clean keto, you just one ingredient foods you're consuming, and you're having like green leafy vegetables, low carbs, and you're sticking to proteins, like one ingredient proteins, like beef, chicken, fish, and yeah, keep it simple. I mean, that from my experience.
And I totally agree with you, and especially when you're starting out. When you first start, there is no more important time than then to be strict about it.
See, I'm the opposite way of thinking. That is when, if you're going to go clean, if you're going to start the ketogenic lifestyle, I don't call it a diet, I call it a lifestyle, because you're changing your way of living. It's a big transformation. That's the biggest part. Okay, people say, "Oh, I can't go out for dinner because they don't serve keto." No. Okay, use your head a little bit. Okay, and say, "No, I don't want that." Everybody fails to realize it. You are paying for that meal when you go to a restaurant. Okay, well, it comes with pasta. Well, I don't want pasta. Do you have something else? You have another vegetable or something? Excuse me. And they look at you like, well, no, it comes with pasta. I don't want pasta. What part of this don't you get? Okay, but I'm paying for it. So if you're going to charge me for work, that's what I'm going to do to stay on track. But my point is, I would suggest that people start out, okay, trying different stuff. Okay, and if it does have a little bit higher carb, when I first started, I was 100 carbs or under. to do the transformation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a retired chef. So, I mean, the carb was like buried in my head that you had to have this. Okay. You had to have a potato. I mean, come on. What are you talking about? No potato? What are you, nuts? I'll lose money. But the simple thing is, so if you're going to start out clean, okay, where I'm at now, I've been that for almost 2 years now. Yeah, I mean, it's a hard transformation to do when you're first starting out there again with the fat bombs and everything else like that. But you gradually drop yourself, have you set your goal 150, and now I'm 20 or under. Okay, but here's the difference. I eat 1 time a day, sometimes twice a day. But if I'm hungry, I'm going to eat until I am full. Then I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So trying them alternatives, like Lee said, we got to have 3 muffins. I mean, come on there, keto. You know what I mean? Or I'm going to have them keto chips. Ooh. You shoot yourself in the foot. And Matt's living proof right there of how the transformation mix. You know,
well, then you get you get the keto trail mix, and it's 85% coconut.
Yeah.
What is
that?
Bread. We're going to make bread, and you got to use 4 cups of almond flour. Okay,
that's a lot of almonds.
You might want to take some you might want to take some rat poison instead. Yeah, I think you have rat poison better than 4 cups of almonds. You know what I mean? But it's all. Now,
Matt, you did have Matt. You've got a video that I wrote down. I think it was a short. Your bagels.
Yes.
It's on my list to do, which is about yay long, but I'm going to make those because it was just cheese, eggs, and baking powder.
Yes.
And I think sesame seeds or everything bagel or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's simple. Yeah, it's simple. I mean, it's not going to be like a New York style bagel, but it'll get you to where you got to go. I mean, if you're craving bagels, I mean, it definitely will mimic a bagel to some extent. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, try it.
Okay. I'm going to try that one. I saw that and I was like, ooh.
That guy got me right there, Matt. You know what he did?
What did he do?
Me and Maria watching one of his videos, okay? And all of a sudden he says, whoa, you know what? We're going to make a rye chaffle. I love rye bread. I love bagels, okay? Marie looked at me. She says, write down what he's saying. I'll be right back. She's firing up the little chaffle maker.
We're going to test this. I know he's not right.
I did the same thing.
Right.
One simple ingredient he put into it, and I tell you what, changed the whole thing. That's why all of us are important in this community because we bounce off one another. Nobody has the right formula or anything like that. We do what we do because of each one of us and everybody else that's in
I went to 4 grocery stores looking for caraway seeds after that.
Really? Wow.
I was like, my wife goes, what are you doing? I was like, I got to find caraway seeds. Go to the next store.
I mean, Matt made the bagels. Okay.
Yeah.
I make my own pasta. I make pasta in a different way. Okay. But it's all up here. You can call it Bozo the Clown, but if it fits your needs, there you go. I mean,
well,
that's the whole thing.
What I did, Matt, was like you took the chaffle recipe and you converted it into a bagel. Great. I love that. I got to try that. I haven't done it. I remember the video and I said, then I got to do it. Guess what? I haven't done it. I got to do it. So,
all right, Mike, one check mark for you.
I took that basic chaffle recipe and I said, we had this thing about make a chaffle. We sponsored a thing to do it, a challenge, and I said, well, all these chaffles, they've been done to death. I said, what do you want to do with a chaffle? Well, you want to usually make it into a sandwich.
Wreck me.
So I said, what sandwich do you miss the most? And I said, without doubt, Reuben.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, So what makes a Reuben sandwich a Reuben sandwich? I said, that rye bread. Well, what makes the rye bread rye bread? I said, the caraway seeds. And I said,
It's just
why can't I add caraway seeds to the
You're making me
doggone
drool.
chaffle? Why can't I just
Wow.
add it to the chaffle?
the professor. The professor had spoken.
And so I said, so
Yeah.
I did it and I tasted of it and I'm like, oh dear God. Rye bread. And then
Well, Lee,
then I shot the video making it, and
Lee, you made pizza crust out of basically the truffle mix.
yeah,
Yeah, the other day, it was mozzarella and cream cheese.
mm-hmm.
And you melt those
Mozzarella. What are you
together.
talking about? Mozzarella. Mozzarella cheese.
It wasn't the old mozzarella. This was out of Walmart. It was mozzarella.
That's how you know. Whoops.
So we got the
What the
cheap
hell is
stuff, and you mixed it up, and then afterwards you added almond flour. So it kind of gave it that little bit of grittiness that didn't mix in. So it was like on the bottom of the crust.
Mhm.
And then I put some. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do next time.
Yeah.
And you bake that until it starts getting done, and then you put the toppings on, and then rebake it.
Yeah.
And
Wow,
that turned out really good. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Matt, right now, what is the one food do you miss, or do you miss any of it?
Honestly, do I miss any? Honestly, not that much. I don't miss too much of it. Maybe pizza, if that. But not any regular pizza, but like maybe the best pizza like you could think of, like say like Spumoni Gardens or something like that. Like maybe that. But other than that, nothing else. Like nothing crazy. What about you guys?
No, I mean that's that's where I'm at. I'm at the point where I'm to the point now. If I want something, I'll have it. Okay, I'll pay the price the next day for it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But do I really want that? No, but I'll have it something a different way. I was a bread connoisseur. That was my bread and pasta was my big thing to give up. Not give up, just get away from, because now after a while you stop thinking about it, how it hurts you. It actually is not really not that great for you. But I have nothing. Mike, what about you?
Fruit.
Really?
Fruit?
Specifically, hey, where do I live, Lee?
Peaches, baby.
Peaches.
The peaches.
Oh.
Lee knows what I'm talking about. Lee knows what I'm talking about.
A nice peach cobbler. Oh,
because you're not far from peach
this
country.
Is starting to sound like a meeting, guys.
What is that up there? What's the name of that little area right there in South Carolina where they grow all the peaches up there on 85? Lord have mercy. What is that?
You really missing them, Mike.
Right
you know where they're at.
Pickens County, just north of Pickens County and all.
You never have like a cheat meal, Mike? For like
occasions,
maybe have a few peaches?
I have done that, but I don't call them cheat meals. I call them reward meals.
Oh, okay.
I think Lee froze.
Yeah.
No, I'm.
Okay.
You got me thinking about peach cobbler.
He was. I'm sorry. He was not froze. He was in a trance.
Yeah. You got me thinking about a big bowl of peach cobbler and some milk, and my wife would put ice cream on top of it, but I'd be like, no.
Put that in the bowl.
Chicken ice cream. Are
then
you
all
crazy?
you do is end up with soggy cobbler. No.
Oh, I like it with milk. I like my peach cobbler with milk. That's the way we grew up.
Well, hey,
that would be bread.
This went sideways quick.
Dinner. That'd be afternoons. That was a meal all in itself.
Peaches and cream.
Yeah.
And see, we have a lot. Oh, Georgia's got a ton of farmland, and they grow a lot of melons, and I love melons.
Yeah.
I just had watermelon the other night.
See, and
that's
the two melons.
That's okay. Yeah.
Melons
and
cantaloupe. And I've been told by people, well, the melon rind, you can pickle the melon rind and eat it. I said, I don't want to eat the melon rind. I want to eat the red part or the yellow part.
Yeah, but Mike,
No, there are yellow watermelons.
Oh yeah, there are. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. I said that to somebody one day, and they accused me of doing drugs.
Psychedelic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but what I normally do is like, say if I know I'm gonna go to like a party or something, or like a birthday party, I would allocate my carbs for the whole week. Like I'd say if I'm typically gonna have like say 40 to 50 grams of total carbs a day, like I would make it half of that, and then I would save them up for the end of the week, and then by the end of the week, I would have over 150 grams of carbs that I could use. And if I have to, I'll use them on that day, and then I'll just get back on track the very next day.
Right.
And I do
Yeah.
that same thing, Matt. And also, I will try to put in some sort of fat with the carbs that I'm having, because fat will blunt a carb response.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like if you're eating bread, if you put butter on the bread, that kind of thing.
On Lee had a video up a couple days ago about went to the doctor and everything like that, and his A1C was up and everything else like that.
Yep.
What I did was, okay, I went from 13 medications down to 3. Okay. They wanted me to go back onto another medication. Okay. This is one shot a week. Okay.
Mhm.
And it turned out to be that it was, my end was $630.
Whoa.
Okay. So I told the doctor, my insurance don't cover it and I can't afford it. He said, okay, you're all right. And I was like, what? My blood sugar's high. My A1C went back up again. Okay. He says, that's issues, but you know what? You're in a good range. You're. So I'm saying, why are you preaching all this stuff to me about, your A1C, all this baloney? Now, do a little further research on it. If your blood sugar is over 400, then you have a problem. So they keep moving the goalpost.
Mhm.
Okay. For these medications.
But the BMI never changes.
Right. So because it's all about this. So with that said, okay, like blood pressure, okay, like somebody's weight, when somebody says you like Lee said, your BMI is high, well, half America or almost 80% of America is out of shape, overweight, whatever. Okay, so they're not moving that number because everybody's making money off it. You know what I mean? I personally believe that what you put in your pie hole does your whole life. I mean, if you live out in a jungle somewhere, you're going to eat what's provided out there, and you should be okay. It's all this junk food stuff that's actually killing us. So making the change, Matt, okay, into keto lifestyle, get yourself adjusted to it, okay. Do you see yourself in the future just continuing what you're doing because you good health and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And my approach to keto has changed drastically from when I first started keto, because now I don't have any of the keto sweets anymore. I basically have a very simple diet. Like I just do protein with meat, veggies, a little bit of berries, and if I want something sweet, I turn to 85% or higher dark chocolate, and I'll have a few pieces of that, and that'll satiate me. And another thing I have is also I'll have maybe like dark almonds, like almonds with dark cocoa. Yeah, and but it'll be a high percentage of cocoa and very low sugar. So I'll have something like that too, and yeah, I'll be satiated. I'll be fine. And actually, I've given up dairy too. So because apparently I'm allergic to dairy. Like I don't know how, but out of all this time, like dairy was a staple in my keto lifestyle, and lo and behold, like I just started to feel queasy, like maybe sometime last year, like when I was having dairy, any type of dairy, like heavy cream or any type of cheese, no matter if it's organic or not, too. Like I just felt weird, so I cut it out, and that was pretty tough too, because I feel like I really took a liking to dairy, and I basically was it was a staple in my lifestyle. So I cut that out, but I replaced it with nutritional yeast, which has a bit of a cheesy flavor. So I'm able to sprinkle that up, and you could even make a sauce with it too, like a cheesy type of sauce with it. And it's basically, I'd say, like a vegan type of sauce. But yeah, like I've given up dairy recently, and I feel so much better now than I did before, like, especially my gut too. So
That's it. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I feel great, and I've even dropped more weight since when I first initially started keto. So like I'm sitting about like 190 right now. So yeah, I'm doing great. Doing great.
Oh yeah, good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you check your ketones?
Thank you. I used to in the beginning. I used to, but I stopped doing that. Like I go by the way I feel. Like if I'm very clear-minded, very sharp, I can pretty much tell when I'm in ketosis. But when I'm starting to feel lethargic, I'm starting to feel like a bit cloudy. Like I could sense when I've been knocked out. Like I feel like, okay, whatever I ate was kind of maybe had some hidden carbs in it or something, or yeah. So I could tell when I'm pretty much in ketosis. Like I've been doing it now for 5 years, so I could tell when I'm in and out of it. But yeah, how about you guys?
I can tell.
I don't ever check that.
I don't check. I bought the little pea sticks, and I got news for folks if they don't already know it. When you're first starting out, those pea sticks work great.
Yeah.
But the longer you've been in ketosis and the longer you've been doing keto, the less that they're going. They become very, very lower in accuracy rate. So if you are obsessed and want to know what your ketones are, you got to test your blood.
Yeah. See, I'm type 2 diabetic, and how I check it is if I'm in ketosis, I feel great. I can tell by my breath has like a little metal taste to it, whatever. Right. Okay, but I am insulin resistant, is what they tell me. I said I want to get tested for that. Test me. See, I want to know what my insulin rate is, what the numbers are.
Yeah.
I said, you're all number people. No, they don't want to do that. I can tell that you're in. Oh, you can tell now you're a mind reader.
Exactly.
But what happens is I feel myself, my blood sugars will be down. Okay. 110, 140, 180, 160. I'm good with that. That's fine with me. Okay. Once I come out of ketosis and your body just takes you out, because now you're running perfect. Now you're a well-oiled machine, because now you do need glucose. We produce that, and we do need ketones. Okay. Works. Both of them work great for your brain, back and forth. So one goes up, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And I feel really good. When I start feeling foggy, and I got to tell you, when my blood sugar's up, I can't see out of my glasses. I have to take my glasses off, and I can see perfect without my glasses. That's when I know I'm running good.
Yeah.
So if I have some carbs or sweets at this time, whatever, which I don't rarely, I have eye problems.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I never thought that would happen. So I'm
and
at that point. No, go ahead, Lee.
And I do more of maintaining blood sugar because I'm a type 2 diabetic as well. So I do the low carb aspect keto-ish because of inflammations that I have with white starches. But I've noticed that if I have, say, 3 or 4 eggs in the morning or lunchtime with some sausage, I will start to feel like I'm crashing by dinner if I don't have like a little bit of carbs or something in a little syrup on whatever, just a little bit. Like if I make a keto sandwich with the keto bread, I'm good, because there's just that little bit of carbs in there that gives the body something else to work on while it's working on breaking down the fats and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But I tell folks, if you're that obsessed with it and you got to know the number, do the blood the Keto Mojo or whichever one you want to do it with. I said, but I can tell you right now, does your breath smell bad? Does your pee stink?
Yeah, you'll know.
That's a dead giveaway that you're in ketosis.
And that again, and that's what people need to realize. Okay, I mean, people get nuts with buying stuff, and I watched one guy putting the glucose meter on their arm, and then eat something. Well, it went up. I came back down again.
Yep. Yep.
Well, that's what your body's supposed to do. You know what I mean?
And Tom, you pointed out that. So I wear a CGM, a continuous monitor, and you'll see when I'm doing good, and then I'll have like a meal with no carb.
Yeah. See, as soon as he says carbs, he freezes.
He does.
That's a buzzword. That seems to be the buzzword.
Oh wow!
We'll wait for Lee to get back. But the bottom line is, Matt, you're doing fantastic. I mean,
thank you.
Great channel. I like a lot of your shorts that you were doing. I mean, just putting them up.
Oh, Lee's back.
There he is.
Oh, that was me that went out. Okay.
Yeah, you froze. As soon as you say carbs, Lee.
So you had told me about watching the graph, and when I would eat and I wouldn't have any carbs, and it'd stay flatline, but then I'd start to crash. But then when I would have something with a little carb, watch it go up, and then like spike, and then come back down. If it's within this window, you're good.
That's right.
Your body's working fine.
That's right.
And that's because wearing a continuous monitor, it's a blessing because you can see what's going on without having to stick your finger and all that stuff. You know where you're at all times. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Where it's not is because you're constantly checking it. It's the little Tom on your shoulder going, "Hey buddy, what's your sugar? Hey buddy."
See, I have a continuous monitor also. It's called Marie.
Can y'all see that?
Yeah. That's Paige, right?
That's Paige. That's her. She wears a continuous glucose monitor. And
Wow.
she wears an insulin pump, and that shows me that's a graph right there. I can look at it on my phone, and it'll go. I can go back and I can see how it was, and I get alerts when it's high and alerts when it's low. Which
She's doing pretty good.
Right. She's different than y'all. Y'all were type 2, but she's type 1.
She doesn't produce insulin at all.
Right.
I produce too much.
And she is also extremely insulin sensitive. So it takes, the doctors are always surprised at how little insulin she uses to keep her blood sugar under control.
But you know what, though, Mike? That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Not a bad thing on with type 1.
Every doctor she goes to, or that's an endocrinologist over the years, they'll say, you use less insulin than any other type 1 diabetic I have ever seen.
Matt, let me ask you a question there. Did you ever have any issues with sugar, with diabetes?
Yeah, well, my doctor said I was pre-diabetic. So my fasting blood sugar, I think, was like 130. And that was... That's not bad. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, a 130.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
I haven't seen that in about 6 months.
Yeah, I know. But the way the doctor was going on about it, like, "Oh, you're pre-diabetic," like, he was trying to just scare me, I guess. And then that was also alongside I had high blood pressure or whatnot. But yeah, it was. I mean, he said I was on my way to becoming type 2 diabetic if I stayed on this course. But again, he didn't really help me. He just prescribed medication and then, sent me out the door, and that was it. And
you get that funny look from the doctor when you mention the word keto.
Oh, forget it. Forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it. They think it's forget it.
That's unsustainable. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
Matt's whole thing, his way of doing his videos for Instagram, TikTok, and for the Keto World Order is he starts it out with when they say keto is not sustainable, and then he'll show what he's eating.
Yeah.
And he's like, really?
And I might add that he's quite the cook also.
Oh, thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
quite-
you.
Yep.
It must be that Northeast.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a Jersey boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh wow, that's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I've been
Now, what's your favorite restaurant in Jersey?
Well, I haven't been there in 22 years, but it was my own. Garden
Oh,
Club.
Oh, really? You had your wow.
Oh yeah, for many years. Yeah, we had a rock and roll club first, and then we turned it into we sold it 3 times. I got it back, and we turned it into a restaurant. In fact, I think they just sold it. My sister-in-law just sold it. I got out of it. I became a sous chef down in the Jersey Shore at a place in Seagirt, New Jersey, called the Yankee Clipper.
Oh
I
wow.
worked there for a while, and a couple of the different Italian restaurants, and I've been doing it for a while. But I used to get done work, Matt. Okay, get in the car, drive to 35 miles into the city, go to Lower Manhattan, and I'd sit down and either have some scungio, galamad, and shrimp.
Oh.
Okay, and then I'd drink my wine, and I would have it in ice because all night working in the kitchen, sweat. So I'd have Chianti with ice, and the owner of the place, he would flip out. Broken English, he'd speak. He goes, "Son of a bitch, you killing the wine." And then he did. And matter of fact, it was Vincent's. You might know Vincent's.
Vincent's, yeah.
Yeah, they moved Vincent's from Lower Manhattan because it used to be across the street from Umberto's.
Oh wow, they moved it. Oh wow.
And now they're out in Long Island, and that's the same family generation different. But I used to go in there all the time. I mean, the galamad was unbelievable. Let me explain to you. Calamari.
Yeah.
Our friend Charlie DeSando over at Cooking Secrets for Men, he says Tom is the most Italian non-Italian he's ever met.
The guy or the manager, the owner, whatever he was in Vincent's there, he'd ask me, "You want a hot sauce?" "Yeah, I want hot sauce." "What the hell? You're going to give me cold sauce?" "No, you want a spicy hot sauce?" "Yeah." He come out with this stuff one night and it looked purple. Okay.
Oh. Wow.
You trying to get me to say it? You working on trying to get me to say it?
I dipped the shrimp in this sauce and put it in my mouth, and I tell you what, the smoke should have come out of my ears, but I wouldn't give in to him. "How's the sauce?" "It's good." Drink my ice cream, Chianti and stuff. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, so
It was a great time back there.
He's an Irishman, but Marie, his wife, is Italian.
Wow.
Yeah.
So-
Wow, that's amazing.
Sicilian.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. That's amazing.
And where the hell are you? That guy. He's Italian too.
Oh, Lee, wow, that's amazing.
No, you.
Yeah, I'm Italian, yeah.
Yeah,
Lee.
I'm in French.
What are you?
German and French.
German
German and French. And French?
and
Wow.
French.
Cool. Mike, they used to call me Hopalongi Zurich. Mike is what? Mike, you're Irish and Scottish, right?
Scots, Irish. I've got
And Australian.
Australian. I've got some Scandinavian in me because between the Irish and the Scottish raiding Scandinavia and Scandinavians raiding both of those countries,
You're,
a little mingling went along. So,
your family was thrown into a ninja blender.
yeah. And here's the kicker. And I have not figured this one out yet. No, my cousins, they when I told them, they couldn't believe it. They said, "You got to be kidding me." I said, "No, go do the ancestry.com or whatever it is, 23andMe, whatever you want to do. And you tell me if it comes back that way for you." But I did it, and it came back that I had like 4% South Asia.
Wow.
We're talking India South Asia, India, Sri Lanka, that area there.
Oh, I thought you were from column A or column B.
And
Wow.
I'm like, when I knew I had Cherokee in me because I my cousin has traced all that, and we've got a Cherokee in us big time. But and I told him that, and he says, "Are you serious?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, I got to go back to the drawing board and figure this one out." He still hadn't figured it out, but it's there.
Wow.
And I'm like, we don't mind it. It's there. That is not the point. It's just we're trying to figure out how it got there.
Yeah.
How did it get there?
There's a store I go to here, and it's run by Native Americans, okay, and Indians. So I said to him, I said, "Wow," I says, "Are you from this area here?" And I'm talking to him like he's Cochise. You know what I mean? Like the stereotype thing. And he looked at me. He says, "Why do you ask, many chins?" Too funny.
Yeah.
Too
So,
funny.
so Matt, I got a question.
Yeah.
Looking at your, so shorts is kind of your thing.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
One channel. Yeah.
Yeah, on the which one
Keto
am I
World
on?
Order.
I'm on
Keto World Order.
the wrestling, the keto and wrestling channel.
Mhm.
Lots of shorts. What was the response to the keto restaurants, going to fast foods and ordering keto?
The response you mean from the waiters and stuff like
That and viewers. Did you how many comments?
oh
What was kind of the response and all that?
yeah well usually when I go to the restaurants mostly they are accommodating to whatever you would like them to serve you, so I never really had too many issues. I mean, sometimes there would be some issues where they would look at you if you had two heads, if you wanted the burger on a lettuce wrap rather than bread or whatever, like something so small like that, so minuscule like that. But yeah, I never really had that much of an issue ordering food. I maybe I have to repeat myself here and there, and they would get it right eventually. But yeah, there's no issue. But viewers in particular, like my viewers, they're very unique. Like they're wrestling fans, and they're also health enthusiasts. They like working out. They like all types of food. So a lot of criticism does come in, but good stuff. Like they like to joke around and say, "Oh, that looks disgusting," or but it's coming from a good place. Like at least they're being honest. But some of them are very supportive too. Like some of them are very supportive, but it's definitely a huge spectrum. Like they come from all ends of the spectrum, and some in the middle. They all come together, and hey, they're definitely supportive of it. Like they've seen my transition from when I was like really overweight to now when I'm pretty good. Like I'm pretty good right now. So they remember me when I used to do live streams, and I didn't have any energy to get off my bed. Like I would just do my live stream from my bed, and I couldn't sit up, or I would sit up a little bit and here and there, and I would talk to them and stuff. But yeah, it's they've seen the whole transition. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean,
Okay.
even the negative stuff that people say. Okay, I look at it this way: they're watching, they're curious.
Yeah.
To see what's going on.
Oh yeah.
And if you can convert them over, and it's not the idea of converting over or likes or views or anything like that. If you can help somebody, okay, and we're just average people,
Mhm.
I'm 68, Mike's 107.
That's in dog years.
Yeah, but even us old guys, okay, and we got our life back. We actually got our lives back doing this.
Yeah.
Okay. I had bladder cancer, and the doctor told me square business. I'm giving you 5 years. I'm telling you, I'm sending you home right now to get your affairs in order.
Wow.
That was the kick in the ass right there. Just, whoa. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, just to get our word out and stuff like that, and have fun doing it. You know what I mean? That's what me and Mike go back and forth. We all joke around with stuff. You know, we converse on social media also, text back and forth. That keeps everybody together. It really does. It just, you know.
Now,
I
Matt,
feel like
before we started recording, Lee was talking about how he would set up to watch the wrestling and on both WCW and WWE, which it was WWF at the time. My son and I, he was young, and we were really young. He's almost 40 now, but we would watch wrestling together, and they taped here in Atlanta at Center Stage. WWF or WCW did, and we would go to Center Stage and see the show, and while they recorded it. And what was funny is the parking deck where you park right there beside Center Stage, the wrestlers park in there too, and they'll be walking in when you're walking in.
Wow.
And which years ago I used to work I worked a part-time job back when they did the regional wrestling stuff, when you had the old NWA and that kind of stuff, you know, the AWA and NWA, and it was the WWF.
Too many letters.
I got to know several of the wrestlers through that part-time job. And so you can, if you know how to approach them, you can talk to them. Mm-hmm. And I would just approach them and talk to them, and my son and I would talk to them, and he got a big kick out of it. And, you know, now you see some of them, and it's how their persona on air, like the Wild Samoans, you'd think they were going to kill somebody. The two of them, just as nice as they could be in the parking deck, they'd sign my son's autographs for him and all, and they'd, you know, talk to him and ask him questions. How you doing, man? You like this? And then he'd talk back with them, and then but now you take somebody like Scott Steiner. Now his brother Rick Steiner, nice guy. Scott Steiner, something is a little loose.
Yep. Well, they did go to that school up north, U of M.
the Ohio State University.
So Laurinaitis, who was with the Legion of Doom, his son was linebacker at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Wow.
Went on into the NFL and was commentating last I saw.
Yeah, because he played for the Rams for a while.
Yep.
And he would bring his daddy into the locker room with he'd bring Animal there into the locker room, and they're like, oh my God, it's Animal, you know.
Now, where I grew up in Ohio, I was 45 minutes south of where Al Snow was from.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So Al Snow was from Lima. Well, I was from Sydney, which was 45 minutes south. And in 1998, they were doing I think it was a Monday Night Raw in Dayton. And so we got to go in there, and then in the mall, really close to where I lived, Al Snow, Mick Foley, and then they had some other guy named Sebastian were there signing autographs.
Sounded like a band.
I was shoulder. That was when Mick Foley first won the championship. I was shoulder to shoulder with Mick, like he was passing me. And while I was at the event, I bought a styrofoam head, mannequin head, because it was, you know, Al Snow.
Yeah.
And I took when he was signing autographs, I took that in, and I wrote across the bottom, I got head in Dayton. And I put the date. So he's sitting there and he's signing autographs. He's making faces, you know. And then I walk up, and instead of handing him paper, I handed him head. Yeah. And he was like, what in the world? And he reads it. He goes, oh, that is so cool. And then he signed it for me.
Hey, Matt, from your channel, have you anybody walked up to you and say, hey, I know you from YouTube?
I think, one time when I was in the city, when I was near my new job here by 23rd Street. Yeah, someone recognized me, and that was so cool. And he said, "Wow, you're Matt Troise."
I was in Sprouts one day. People out here don't know what that little bar on the side is for. The signals. So I scoot in. I pull right into the parking spot. I get out and I go inside, get what I need to get. Standing online, and some old guy comes up behind me and he says, "Hey, I recognize you." I said, "No shit." I said, "From YouTube?" He said, "No, you're the guy that stole my parking spot." Here I'm saying, "Oh, YouTube? No. So,
Man, but in the 70s, in 1979, 1980, and 1981, I worked a part-time job with the regional wrestling that would come down to Griffin. And they had two doors. The bad guys came out this door. The good guys came out this door. Oh, one on the left, one on the right. But it was one big dressing room. And so Saturday night, that was the card, and they would get in there, and I remember there a couple of times, and they would all be in there talking and whatnot. And there was a couple of times that actual fights broke out in the dressing room. And I was fixing to go over there and try to break it up because it was the natural tendency. And one of the wrestlers stopped and said, "No, just let them work it out. Just let them work it out." And I said, "Does this happen?" I said, they got a beef with each other. They'll get it worked out and they'll be good with each other just a little bit." And I said, "Really?" And he goes, "Oh yeah." I said, "So nobody gonna end up going to jail?" "No, we ain't gonna put nobody in jail. We ain't gonna put nobody in jail." And I said, "Okay, as long as nobody doesn't go to there's no hospitalization and no." He said, "Oh no, we won't let it go that far." He said, "We'll stop it before that gets to that point." And I said, "Okay." And then, sure enough, after it was all said and done, they were good to go again. And it was usually because somebody missed a cue in the ring, or they missed a thing, and they actually landed something, and it was usually a younger wrestler and an older wrestler, and the younger wrestler wasn't listening to the older wrestler in the ring, and he's like, "Kid, they'd be, 'Kid, you got to listen, man. I'll get us through this. Just did you do what I say, and you won't pull that kind of crap anymore. Kid, you're gonna get somebody killed."
No.
So Matt, where did you get the idea for the watch parties?
The live streams.
Yeah,
live streams. Well,
so there's another channel that I watch who does. He calls them watch parties, and he'll have his headphones on. He'll watch the episode of Star Wars, is what it is, and then he'll take his headphones off and then talk with the chat. So the first 30 minutes or 40 minutes, you don't have any interaction. You just see his facial expressions. And then after the premiere's over, he takes his headphones off and then he has a conversation. So I noticed you do a lot of that.
Oh yeah. Like, well, for me, for me, I actually got the idea when I was having all these medical conditions. I felt so terrible that I was saying to myself, what if I was to do a live stream on YouTube? Because I like doing YouTube, like posting videos and stuff. I said, what if I did a live stream watching wrestling, and if something happened, someone could call 911 and they could get medical attention for me. Like if I was, because I really felt terrible. So, but I was also a fan too. I would watch the weekly shows, and then I would go on YouTube and I'd say, "Oh, there's YouTubers that they do their live reactions for their shows," and I said, "Well, I could do that, and I think I could do it better than them too." And lo and behold, like I just started doing it, and after like several weeks, I started to pick up a following doing that, and all throughout that time, I would tell people of my story, like why I'm live streaming, and what how I'm feeling, and this and that. Like I would tell them, I'm not feeling that well. Keep a lookout for me, like in the beginning. So and there would be some people that would come by each and every week, just check up on me, and then after months went on, like I was doing this like twice a week, they would it amassed a following. So like each and every week, like 10, 20, 30 people would show up at one time, and then sometimes up to 100 people would show up at one time. So yeah, like it started to become a community, and I started to feel better throughout my my lifestyle change on keto, and then lo and behold, I just got this following, and now it's from people from all over the world. And now I like to joke around. I say, it's some of you from different planets too. So like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I like to joke around with them too. But yeah, they're a great community, and I really appreciate them. They're really great people. So
Matt, does your family follow through with the keto lifestyle, or?
Actually, no. I'm the only person in my whole family that really, like, they feel like I went rogue, like, against so like that's what they think. Like they feel like yeah, exactly. No, you're not gonna eat your mother's pasta anymore, or this or that. Like, but yeah, like no one follows keto in my immediate my family, my immediate family, my fiance, her family. Nobody follows keto. Like, so I literally, I didn't have that much of a support system going into this, but I did. I just took a roll of the dice. I took a chance, and it paid off.
So when you cook, man, you have other people over. Do you tell them that it's low carb keto style, or just let it roll?
Yeah, I don't tell them anything. Yeah, just let them eat. I was
going to ask that because my wife's very much. If I tell her this is a biscuit, like, she hated me for months and still doesn't like it. But I would try the keto biscuits.
Oh, cute!
And
You made like 9,000 of them.
Yeah, well,
not to cut
so
you off,
each week we were doing
the best video Lee has made, and I tell you, I almost wet my pants watching it, and she went like this: "No more biscuits."
Because I would tell her that it's a biscuit, and she gets in her head what a biscuit is. Like, this is what a biscuit's supposed to be. And then I give her this, and it's all gritty and sandy, and she's like, no, not a biscuit.
And
so you've run into that, I'm sure, where you have to call it something else than what it's supposed to mimic.
Yeah. Mike has Miss Paige, okay, and she'll tell him flat out, nope. Nope.
Well, what was the recent one? She said, "Oh, it's good, but I don't need to eat it again."
No, what was that? Oh, shoot.
It was just the other day.
Oh, the taco stuffed peppers.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's good. I'm going to eat it, but I don't need it again.
And I got the
That
little
was because
Italian.
the peppers were still, half a pepper. She
Yeah.
likes her peppers diced up, and then whatever she's eating.
I made the egg life
like this.
I made the egg life wraps into noodles, right? And Maria's like, nope, this is not gonna fly. Not gonna fly. Nope.
I agree with that one.
So, but after we made it, I don't eat leftovers. I mean, one and done. If there's anything, that's the way I cook, is just to be done that day, because I don't want nothing lingering later on at night. Give in to them. Well, it's in here. Let me eat it. I don't want that. I want to get it over with, and then I'm done for the night. But I made this other pasta out of cream cheese, pork rinds, all this different stuff like that. And when I'm trying to try to tell people, well, hold on a minute. When you first made homemade pasta, eggs and flour, okay? Ooh, this is good. But you got to have a sauce with it. Nobody eats pasta by itself that I know of out of a pot, and it tastes horrible. Okay,
you haven't met my wife.
So I got Marie looking over my shoulder when I'm cooking something. Back up! I'm making a video. this is not going to fly. This is not going to be good. It's not going to be good. But now she conformed around to it and I got to watch her too. You know what I mean? I don't know if she's got a knife in her hand or something, going to hit me with a spoon or something. But yeah, I mean, it's tough to not convince people, but that's why I don't say nothing. Try this. See how this works. You know.
But now Matt, he says his family doesn't need keto, but he has made, like, for Poppy, his daddy's birthday, he has made Poppy a keto cake on more than one occasion.
Yeah. I don't make them anymore though, because like with the sugar alcohols and whatnot. But yeah, like I used to make it for him, and he liked it. He liked it, but he would run to the restroom right after. he would like it.
I got to tell you, he's got several videos out there where he has Poppy as the star of the show. It's Matt's name on the channel, but Poppy's the star of the show.
Yeah.
So, you got to watch them. They're great. His daddy is great.
Yeah, he'll tell you exactly how it is.
Punches.
Yeah, he'll tell you exactly. I gave him keto bread, keto chips before, like all types of keto stuff. I would get it for him to see his reactions, and I'll film it. And yeah, like he would tell you exactly what he felt.
But he had to, like, you got the keto ice cream for him one time, and y'all were riding in the car.
Yeah, he actually liked it.
And he loved it. He said, this ain't bad. He said, this ain't bad at all.
Yeah, said, we both had to find a restroom after that, but it was good. It was good. It was good.
And see what Matt is saying, okay, about you got to find the bathroom afterwards, okay? That's the stuff that I don't like about what they're pushing, what different channels are pushing, as far as, oh, this is good, or no, it's not. It's not good for you. This stuff is just not good for you. It might help you get over it, but it's going to teach you a lesson that what you're doing is you're actually hurting your microbiome. You're actually hurting your gut. Your gut is the big thing that takes care of viruses and stuff like that. Also, now there's studies coming out right now that this doctor Brett Scher come up with about cancer. Okay. Also, it has properties of fat. If you go sugar free, actually seems to be working killing cancer cells. Also, I just read a thing the other night about Alzheimer's. Now, this is, like I said, we're not doctors, but these other studies that are coming out and saying this stuff there, it's something to pay attention to. So what you eat, I mean, if you're going to sit down and, you want Miss Ben and Jerry's and stuff like that, it's sad that we got to that craving, that sugar craving, that actually took over. And what we're doing is we're giving it to young kids, giving a little, here, come here, have a lollipop. Come here, have this, come have that,
So Matt, y'all coming down this way for vacation this year?
I might. We might drive down to Florida, maybe stop in South Carolina or so. We might. Yeah, we try to go down to Florida like once a year because my uncle lives down there. We try to have a good time down in Fort Lauderdale, and we make like a road trip out of it, and it's a lot of fun. Las Vegas,
y'all, man. I want it. No, he's saying call Mike and call Lee because I'm in Georgia and he's in South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
But, when I came to New York City back in October, I wanted to get with you so bad, and I kept trying to figure a way, but I was with these other folks, and now they were cousins of my wife's, and my cousins now too, but they, man, we went nonstop. That whole time we were there. Now I got to tell you, and it was great because we saw so much stuff. Debbie, my wife's cousin, by marriage,
she's not little Debbie, is she?
No, she is from Queens. She's from Queens, and she was the tour guide, and she took us everywhere, and we heard all about a lot of the stuff that you don't see in the tour guides and that kind of stuff. Oh, it was great, but I hated I didn't get to see you while I was up there.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, it's always next time, and I mean, it happens. There's so much to do here too, so I understand. Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Mike's coming out to see me in September.
I am already booked. Booked, and already paid for.
Wow, that's amazing.
Ooh. Yeah.
Nice.
But
I'm
that's
gonna shoot-
there's a keto convention out there, and it's in Las Vegas at what's the name of it, Tom? Tuscany.
yeah, the Tuscan. Yeah,
Casino. And
I just had a girl sing with us last night who actually performs there all the time. It's got a great venue for music and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
but it's just like
Wow.
2 blocks off the strip, off the main road there, like 2 blocks off of it. So,
Are you guys going to get shirts that says "I'm with Keto Mike" and "I'm with Keto Tom"?
we're gonna go like that.
I have actually thought about it. I don't know if they would let me in. I'm gonna wear my shirt that says Ketorific Journey, but I have a thought about getting another shirt that tells go to my YouTube channel. It's this, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
do
know
that.
why they wouldn't. See,
But
I
I don't
can't.
know they'd let me in.
I got to wear a mask because most of the keto people don't like me anyway. So
Yeah.
I would have to wear a disguise. You know.
But yeah, when you come down, how many times have you stopped at south of the border?
Oh, that stopped. It's pretty cool. Like I always drive by it. I never stop there.
You
Pedro,
need
you got to see Pedro.
yeah.
Yeah.
gotta
Oh yeah.
stop.
'Cause I
gotta
never
stop.
stopped there because it looks so outrageous. I'm like, what is this?
It's an experience.
Yeah. I'm worried I would stop there and then we would stay there for hours and not continue on our trip.
Yeah.
Like, because it's a long drive from New York to Florida. So,
And,
But-
and if you hadn't done this, if you come across a Buc-ee's while you're traveling, you need to stop there too.
Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Is that a
Yeah.
restaurant?
It's it's like the
Travel
Think
Plaza.
about a Walmart and a gas station had a baby.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Called the Bucky.
Yeah.
BUC-EE''S Buc-ee's.
That's too many
And
letters.
a beaver is their logo. That's their logo.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Wow.
Hey, it's like 100 gas pumps.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
And each Buc-ee's throughout. I mean, they're mainly down in the Texas area, and they're coming across.
Mhm.
Like they just put 2 in South Carolina.
Mhm.
Each one's got something like a world record to it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Each store.
Yeah.
And we have 2 in
So
Georgia.
one's got like 120 gas station pumps, which is the most in the world.
Wow. That's amazing.
Mhm.
So out here they have Bucky's. Right down south, out here they have a place called Terribles. So, swear to God, it tells you exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Gas prices today $4.35 at Terribles. Okay.
You need you need to stop at a Buc-ee's and get Poppy's reaction to Buc-ee's on video. 'Cause it will be priceless.
Oh, I gotta do that.
And you've got to get the beaver uniform.
Yes.
Like it's a onesie of their mascot, the beaver.
Mhm.
Wow.
And
Wow.
you can get it and wear it around.
Yeah.
Wow.
My buddy's son got it and wore it to his friend's wedding.
Really? Jeez, that's wild.
When you and Sarah finally get married, you can wear it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, well, speaking of Sarah, my fiance, yeah, like I'll have her try stuff too, and yeah, like you guys were saying earlier, like she'll have it one time, and then the next time she'll say, "No more of that keto BS."
Yep.
Now, Tom, what his fiance is Asian, and
Okay.
he likes to incorporate the Asian style of stuff into keto.
Yeah.
And I know you do the same thing because you use bok choy and he'll use yu choy, which they're like brothers.
Yeah.
I found myself, and I know out in the city, there's a lot of different stores that you can go, different, even butcher shops and stuff like that still exist out in Long Island and in Manhattan and stuff. Out here, I find that it's the ethnic stores, Mexican store. This place, I'm telling you, It looks like they come in with dump trucks and dump avocado. I mean, I never seen so many avocados in one spot.
Wow.
Every kind of pepper you can think of. Okay. And all the different cuts of meats and stuff like that. They don't go with ribeyes or anything else like that. They have them there, but you can manipulate with it. But other cuts of meat that they have, more affordable for everybody. Then there's Asian market. There's an Asian market here that I'm telling you, I mean, unbelievable. So
the
that's
prices, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the prices. Yeah. They have them here too. Where I'm in Queens, there's so many like Asian supermarkets, and yeah, I mean the prices are like really unreal. Like compared to like a Stop and Shop or a
they take care of the people. That's what it said. That's what it is. They take care of the people. We get gouged. That's basically what happens to us.
What I noticed about New York City was that I went into a couple of bodegas while I was there, and you could get virtually anything you could get in a supermarket in that bodega, but you wouldn't get the selection that you would get in the supermarket.
Right.
And I was like, man, because I'm like that. And Debbie had told us you can get about anything you want in the bodega. And I said, they're small. How are you going to do that? Went in and I'm like, holy cow, you really can.
There's a place up in Harlem, up in Little Italy now. That's up close to Harlem up in there, and actually in Harlem, that specializes in cheese and salamis. Okay, wow. You walk in this place and they got salamis hanging all over the place, over your head. I'm saying, what the hell is this? Okay, and how much for that one or this one? No, not that side. That's still drying. They actually air dry right in the store.
Really?
You know what I mean? But I mean the prosciutto and the salamis and I mean just amazing. You can't find that out here. Yesterday before I went to go play, I stopped at a place to pick up something, and right next to it was a butcher shop. Okay, I walk in, there was maybe one or two people there, and I looked right down, and it was ribeyes. Okay, they were $39 a piece.
Whoa.
Okay, the tomahawk, okay, was $65. So I said to the girl, so what happens now with this stuff? You're going to sell by date. You can't keep it forever. What happens to that? The old guy standing next to me, he pointed over to where the chopped meat was. There it is right there. That's where it goes.
Wow.
I mean, come on. I mean, just the prices are super, super ridiculous, That's why, like I said, I go to the specialty stores, especially for the vegetables.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Matt, you had said that you developed an allergy to dairy. Have you done the vegan dairy stuff?
Yeah, I even tried. Yeah, I've tried the vegan stuff, but they put different ingredients in it. Like they put gums in it and stuff, and that actually messes with my stomach just as much. Yeah, so I don't have any of that stuff. Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah.
I'm glad you're saying that, because you're preaching to me right now, because that's what I've been trying to say the whole time, is that, well, this stuff is okay. No, it's not. There's no studies on it. Okay. Your liver that pushes out your insulin and also your glucose does not know that you're putting in allulose or sugar or cane sugar or brown sugar. All it knows is reacting to that sweetener. That's all it knows, to that molecule. Mm-hmm. I got into a screaming match with somebody over xanthan gum.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Xanthan gum is a molecule of sugar. It's a derivative from sugar. And it's shelf stable, the whole bit. But people don't want to hear that. Oh, no, I want to have it that way. You're actually doing more damage to yourself eating that junk, that I call it, okay? It's highly processed. Even like keto chow. This is where I get in trouble, okay? Everybody else, oh, it's okay. It's good. It's okay. Really? Do you really know what's in it? They claim that they have the best vitamins that they put in it and stuff like that. You got to prove that to me. Okay.
And they put natural flavors in it too, and all that. Like, yeah, it's you never know. Yeah.
It's a process.
Yeah.
So.
Now, Matt, I'll tell you something now. When I was a kid, I ate anything. It didn't bother me. But when I got to be an adult, a processed strawberry, I'm not talking about a fresh strawberry that you put a little sugar on it. I'm talking about one where they put the preservatives in it and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I developed an allergy to it where I would get hives from it.
Oh.
And then I also developed an allergy to sweet potatoes. Ate it all the time growing up, but I developed a sweet potato allergy. Much so that I would, when I would go to somewhere that had sweet potatoes on the menu in a meat and three or something where you go in and you get your vegetables and all, if it's sitting there, if one of the vegetables I wanted was next to the sweet potatoes, I would go to the other end and get something else so that it wouldn't come in contact with it. Because while it was highs with the sweet potatoes or the strawberries, the sweet potatoes, I actually end up being hospitalized.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But then back in 2010, I had my gallbladder taken out. And I had a lot of folks say, well, did you have food allergies before? I said, yeah. And they said, you got to try what you were allergic to, because I had food allergies, and now that without the gallbladder, I don't have them anymore. And I said, really? And they said, yeah. I said, So it took me a little while to build up the courage. I ate the strawberries and it didn't bother me. And then I said, it took me a little while to build up the courage to do the sweet potatoes, because I know if it goes bad, I'm at the hospital.
Yeah.
But I tried it, no effect. And I'm saying, son of a gun, you know?
Yeah.
And,
So you got to do what Matt did and eat them on a live stream.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And put 9-1 in there. Mike, we're coming up on an hour and 35 minutes.
Oh, boy, we are. I didn't even
Oh,
realize
wow.
where we were.
Yeah.
Wow.
This has been a whole lot of fun.
We try to keep it to an hour so we don't lose track of anything. But hey.
Yeah, time flies.
This
Matt,
man right
thank
here.
you, man.
Thank you.
Check him out. Check him out. Matt's got a great channel.
Matt, go plug your channel names one more time, Matt.
Oh, so yeah, check it out. Mattroise Keto and Wrestling. Check out MJ Wrestling Shoots, Keto World Order. Check them out. You know, it's definitely a lifestyle for me, as well as these guys here. You know, and just gonna keep doing it, because you got to go by the way you feel. So if you feel good, keep doing it. You know, and you never know what's at the end of the tunnel. You know, you just got to keep going and never give up. You know. And definitely make adjustments along the way if you have to, and keep going.
Matt's a keto coach, so if you have any questions, get a hold of him, and he'll help you out, get started with it. I also want to make sure that we talk about our new host here. Okay, he's got a great channel, Lee Smoking Bears. Can't beat it. I am so glad that you accepted the invitation to join us. Okay. Lee's going to be here every week with us, and we're going to alternate different. Everybody's going to have a different approach with things. So I think the three of us will get the message out. This guy up here, I'm going to knock my hat off. Who is my partner? Mike needs some watch hours.
Boy.
So if you would check Mike out, please.
You ain't going to believe that. I went to bed last night with 2,071 watch hours, I think it was. This morning I wake up with 2,001.
Wow. Something's going on with YouTube, but that's for another thing.
But,
well, guys, I appreciate it.
So Matt, I want you to take us out with your classic takeout that you use every time on your show. Oh,
definitely. Well, I hope you all be safe and be well. Matt Troise signing out. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.